Hey man, uh, well, since you showed me your view out your window last time, I thought I'd show you my view out my window. It's almost as interesting. There's my window. It's very frosty, as you can see. You can't even see out half of it. But yeah, that is the view out my window. Isn't it exhilarating? Yeah, it's funny to think that I'm probably quite a bit warmer than you were when you were taking your video, which is a bit ridiculous. So yeah, I was just thinking about some of the stuff you were talking about when you said you like some of the thoughts you had about HP Moore and whatnot. About like the way we judge people and things like that. I think that's a major aspect of HP Moore and something really good to take out of it. But one thing I really want to talk to you about is I think I mentioned to you like I had the coolest dream of my entire life on I don't remember which day it was this past week. But basically, like, I woke up at like 3:20 in the morning. I couldn't get to bed. I couldn't get back to sleep for ages. Kept on lying there and forever. And then like I finally fell asleep. And then I I woke up in my bed again. And I realized that it wasn't actually my bed. I like woke up in my bed and it was like, oh, this is my room. It wasn't anything like my room, but like my actual room here. But it's like, oh, this is my room, blah blah. I started doing some stuff, and then I realized that I was dreaming, which is the coolest realization that you can have. It's very very interesting. So I realized I was in a dream. So then I decided I was like, oh, this is sick. So I can do whatever I want. So the first thing I did was I flew, obviously, because I was like, oh, the way I did it though was a little weird. You know, like in Infamous, when he has to put out his hands to like kind of like hold himself up as like, you know, like to kind of force himself up by with his hands. So that's why I like jumped in the air and like held myself in the air for a second, realized I could fly, and which was pretty sweet. So then I did that a bit, and I don't remember much of what happened in that part of the dream. Let's see. I actually wrote down a bunch of stuff. Where is it? As soon as I woke up from the dream, finally, I actually like I'd never done this before, but I actually went and like wrote down everything that happened, which was actually it was the notes I made were very confusing. Let's see if we got it. Okay. Let's see. I'll show you some of them. It's like yeah, like all over the place. Okay, let's see if I can make sense of some of these. So yeah, so I was in the house and I was discovering my powers and stuff, which is very cool. And I realized I could like make things. Like I flew around and a bunch of shit. Let's see. So then I at some point I realized I'm like, oh, this dream is taking too long, and I was like, well, I need to wake up. Like I'm gonna be late for work was the thought I had. So then I woke. I was like, okay, I need to wake up. So then I woke up, and there's just like a body lying on top of me, like horizontally, like to me, and I was like, what the hell? Who is this on me? And I got them off, and then I like. I got up and I realized it was my roommate Joshim, and then and so then my first thought was like, oh, he must have come home drunk, which is the weirdest thing ever. I was like, but it completely accepted the scenario in my dream, and I went and checked, and my other two roommates were in the house, and then I realized that wait, my first roommate would like he left like a month ago, like he shouldn't be here. I must still be dreaming. I woke up again, and then and I was going around the house, and then I realized that I was still asleep because I realized that the house wasn't shaped, like it wasn't laid out like my actual house was. But so then I woke up again, and one thing, one of the times, so I woke up multiple times in like the same area. Every time I thought, oh, I'm waking up, and then and then I ended up still being asleep. So it was like multi-level inception shit going on, which was nuts. So that one of the times I woke up, I remember I remember this thing I read, or I heard in like a YouTube video or something, where like if you think you might be in a dream, you're supposed to like check your watch, which I don't actually have a watch, but in my dream I had a watch. But you're supposed to check your watch because your brain like can't figure out the time, so like the watch will be all like funky. So I looked at my watch and it said like the time was like 6:88 a.m., which doesn't make any sense. So I checked it again, and then it like flipped between two different numbers, which didn't make any sense. So I'm like, oh, I'm still asleep. So then I woke up. So then I made myself wake up again. I never remember how, like, like in Inception. It's so cool how Inception had like a lot of really legit stuff. Like, in fact, you never remember how you got somewhere in a dream. You just end up there, and the kind of like the series of events that led you to that place are just kind of foggy. You don't really remember them. Like then, because then the next time I woke up, I was just in this big room. It was like a big mansion, like modern mansion with like big glass windows and like a big staircase and lots of like open space. And I was just there, it was just something that was happening, completely accepted. And I was like it feels like reality. But then I remembered like, oh, I've been having these dreams where like I've been dreaming, so maybe I'm in a dream right now. So I was like, I should check my totem, like from Inception. I thought this in the dream, but I didn't have a totem. So I picked up a piece of cement, like a little chip of cement from the ground, and like flicked it onto the floor. And on the floor it landed, and then like skipped a couple times like it would if you threw a piece of concrete on the ground. But then it started like flipping around and going all nutty. So then I was like, oh man, I'm still in a dream again. So then now I was in that dream. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do so. So I flew around the room a little bit, and one of my friends from high school showed up, Trail, and then he was like, oh yeah, we're in a dream. This is so cool. And then actually my boss, one of my boss at work right now, he showed up, and then we were like planning out what we were gonna do, like, and the main theme of what we were planning, we're like, we should go mess up something, like we should go break some shit in the dream because it doesn't matter, right? So we were looking at this big map like spread out, which I drew a picture of it, but it looked like that's something like what the map looked like, which I drew, which what it looks like is Imperial City from Avatar: Legend of Korra, if you've ever seen that, which I don't think you have. But so it looked like that, and we didn't want to go attack this temple because we're like, oh, we can't break the temple, that's sacred, even though it was like a dream. So then we were like, okay, let's go mess up this other place. And then one really cool thing I could do in the dream was I could just make stuff happen. So I just like vanished a wall. I just like caused the wall to cease to exist, and we walked out onto like a balcony, and like we made the railing disappear, and we like flew off into the sky. And then I actually woke up because my throat was dry, and I was like, ugh. And then I actually woke up. So anyways, the coolest dream I've ever had. This video's kind of gone on a tangent, so I'll let you go. I hope you enjoyed the view from my window and how interesting it was. But dreams are so cool, man. Anyways, love ya. See you around.